This
worries.
call is being recorded.
All right, one moment. Please don't hesitate to interrupt, by the way, if you have any questions that you would like to ask or mention.
All right. Did you get my birthday and all that?
Yes, I did. Is that February 7th?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So,
Crazy Aquarius.
okay, so yeah, I'm really glad to see you're an Aquarius.
Life's been interesting.
Oh, also, please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions. Okay. So we do see you have your North Node in Taurus, so congratulations, you're coming into a nodal return. And
Yeah, so's my husband. It's crazy. Sorry.
and what sign is your husband?
He's a Libra and my daughter's a Gemini. We're like a trine air craziness here.
That's so awesome. I love that.
Oh, it's so cool. And her name's Jeannie. Spelled with a G. She's magic.
Literally. And you have
Yeah.
Chiron in Gemini, so do you think it triggers healing?
So what does that mean exactly?
Oh, Chiron in Gemini means you have healing communication.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've definitely been talking to angels.
And I would say basically en route to that, it's putting you in a position to Chiron's opposite this, so you heal people with your voice and what you say. It may trigger them, and because the truth will piss people off before it sets them free, but like it definitely does go a long way towards how through that Gemini channel and with the angels you kind of connect in that vein too. But other than that, it's very important because we see your rising is in Leo and you have Moon in Virgo.
So yeah. Holy crap. Sorry, that was my dog. Yeah, the Leo is like opposite Aquarius. So how does that like affect me? I wonder.
Yeah, oh, it's a very archetypal connection actually. And concerning that, it definitely goes a long way towards putting you in a position. Oh, I was about to say, okay. I was about to say. So it definitely goes a long way. Oh, towards putting you.
I'm a walking contradiction, but I'm comfortable in myself because I get intel from all kinds of sources. I feel like my body gets taken over by several different types of things. I don't even know, but it feels weird. So I've recently went through an identity crisis, so to speak. And to get to the core of who I am, human design, gene key is everything. So I can discern what's me or coming from outside of me. It's been nuts.
That makes sense. Especially having your son in the 7th house, you literally have the best of both worlds here. So
Yeah.
as a Leo rising, I'm going to share the chart that you have. As a Leo rising, you are the solar queen, but Aquarius is high nobility. So you're both the high end solar queen, and it's like you're the people's judge. You're the people's representative of knowledge because you got the Leo rising, ironically, which is also the main character, right? But in the 7th house, your spirit of knowledge you now give towards other people. So it's like you're aware of the knowledge of other people. You know other people.
Yeah. Oh, very well. Very well. I'm a translator of all kinds.
And you can break them down too with the Virgo moon.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate it.
Or tear my husband apart bit by bit.
Right.
You know?
I love that. I appreciate that too because the Virgo moon Aqua Sun is like the final evolution of what I have the Capricorn moon Gemini sun because it goes from that to Libra sun Taurus moon and then of course Aqua Sun Virgo moon. And I highly respect that vibration because it is
Thank
now
you.
the critical breakdown. Oh no way. Wow, that was fast. It's now the critical breakdown of how realistically you see into the knowledge of others. So it's like understanding the microcosm, but then seeing the
Yes.
macrocosm.
Yes. And it's been killer. And I'm like really anxious for what's to come. I'm like excited because, yeah, I was just walking around unconsciously and everyone's like, you have the best luck and I have the best time with you. But I never really thought about it in depth until recently, the past year.
That's,
And now it's like, oh.
and I appreciate that too because oh, you got the transit forecast. I appreciate that too because now when we take into account this nature of all of that, you know, it's like you just said you have all this luck or people say that, right? But we do see that personally you also have Jupiter in Aquarius. So that's that element of luck that you gift to other people
Oh, yeah.
and bring around to other people. It's like you can also expand the knowledge of how their behavior affects their relationships. And Jupiter recently returned, Saturn's gone over here. And that's the cool thing because normally when Jupiter or Saturn go through the seventh, you come into a evolution of all your relationships. People either come into business partnerships, marriages, and it really goes a long way towards with Saturn raising the standards in your relationship too.
Yeah. It's been crazy. Me and my husband have been together 15 years, and we only ever broke up once for a year towards the beginning, but we almost got a divorce this year, and my mother passed away this year.
Well, that's what I was going to say too. Normally, Saturn in the seventh can bring a divorce. So it's interesting to say. So if it doesn't, then you're usually reestablishing another 14, 30 years of the relationship.
Yeah, and I'm trying really hard to because, yeah, I love the man.
Right.
But I feel like I've died 100 times this year. I don't know. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Oh, is that
Oh,
Kali?
isn't she gorgeous? I got her like a month ago.
I love it. I learned that I have a
I embraced her, and I think that's what kind of pushed me. I let go of my last fear I had,
okay.
Yeah.
And that's also what's fascinating. The Aquarius Scorpio square is very difficult because you have Pluto and Saturn square you. And so that's a lot of intense family karma and expectation. And even in your own personal family, like I feel like so there's two squares. There's
My
the
dad was a preacher,
oh, that's deep.
but he flip-flopped. He would take me to Slipknot concerts, Ozfest, and the next year he was into religion, and the next year buy me weed, and it's crazy.
Wow, okay. That's deep.
Yeah,
Was he a mutable sign?
whatever. He's a Pisces.
Yep, I knew it. He had to be a mutable sign. That's amazing. We do flip flop like that, but it depends what time it is. But yeah, I mean that's really deep. Like the Pluto squares to Leo, like Scorpio square Leo, is a lot of hatred. It's a lot of intensity, and it's a lot of jealousy. And the Aquarius squares to Scorpio,
From me,
no. Just to like if you were a
the
Leo, it would be towards Leo. It's like Leo's the performer, and then there's this
yeah.
inner obsessive hatred towards the main character. But then
Yeah,
so as a Leo
I
rising,
feel that inner struggle, man. It kills me because I'm like the type that I give and give and give and give, and when I could sit down and like give to myself, I feel like I can't.
wow, that's deep.
uh,
And
I just I love helping people. I mean, and I love learning and shit. So
the Scorpio square to Aquarius is a bit more intense, but since Aquarius is high nobility, it's like people, it's jealousy and some kind of hatred, but it doesn't always reach you. It's like you're above it in Aquarius. Not like it still doesn't affect you, but people can
Yeah.
just be hypersensitive to your detached attitude or just your detached energy.
Yeah, I forgive and forget easy, and I try to forget the past. Like I live now and in the future, as you know, Aquarius. But yeah, it makes me come off as cold, but I'm
Right,
not. I love that much. Like
right.
even when I'm with somebody, I don't care what it is. If it's bringing joy to them or they're exploring something, I'm all for it. But I
Yeah,
don't feel like that's always understood or given back to me.
true
Or
that.
I don't ask for it, right?
So that's really deep because now we see, coming into the next year, you've completed chapter 7. Jupiter is going into your 8th house, and this is going to facilitate a whole year's worth of transformation. Going to the 8th, the results of partnership, shared assets. Jupiter is going to open up investment channels, maybe even self-employment, and or more of that. And this is where the South Node by February will be on your Saturn. So this is huge because as a Leo rising, Uranus transiting your 10th will be having you manifest a very unconventional legacy. And this can
I
bring
I
windfalls.
feel that, and I'm not entirely sure how that's gonna pan out, but yeah, I've been really wondering because I'm diabetic and I've had 18 eye surgeries, so I've been and I used to be a private investigator, but I haven't been working for years, and I feel like I need to be out in the world doing something and getting paid for it. So
And you said you haven't been working for years?
yeah, I lived in Atlanta for a while. And yeah, when I got pregnant with my daughter, it kicked in hormones from being diabetic since I was 7, and so I started going blind. But oddly enough, things happen for a reason. That's just opened up my other eyes and senses.
That's deep.
And my address, where I live, I bought a house. It's on an 11 frequency,
Like the
and
numerology.
my dad's birthday is 311, and his mom's birthday, my grandma, was 11/22. And the synchronicities this month, dude, I can't even. The 12/12s and 4/4/4s,
Yeah.
it's nuts. It's nuts.
See, which I can imagine. Aha, there we go. Which I can imagine would be even crazier because, you know, I thank you for expressing that. This is the North Node that's returning for you is literally completing like 10 years worth of destiny. So everything that was kind of established 10 years ago is now coming around through like the 2017 channel that really anchored more that sense of like unlocking who you are. So I think this is going to push you in over the next 3 years to a lot of success because
Mhm,
everything that transforms this year is going to start a new cycle 2023, and coming into
mhm,
2024 you manifest the abundance of this legacy, which with Uranus here may not even, you may not even have to work any job. It's just like kind of manifesting more passive income, or putting
mhm.
yourself in a position to handle all of this. So I think through this 8th house chapter, because Jupiter is going to spend like, um wait a minute, Jupiter is going to spend, let's say, like, um 5 months. By May it'll already be in Aries, and you have Mars and Venus in Aries, which is very
I have a
creative.
lot of Aries.
It's very instinctual. It's very impulsive. I have Mars and Aries too. Like before we
Mhm.
can think about what we do, we already did it. But you have an
Yeah,
Aquarius sun, so you
yeah.
can.
And then you step back and you're like, "Oh crap, I did that! Wow, I'm awesome."
I think
It's
it's
for
even.
real.
I think it's even cooler with the Aquarius sun because now you know a lot of what you're stepping into and doing.
Yeah, it's oh god, it's been the craziest year, especially.
Wow. can imagine. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely a lot to process. And you know, by the time Jupiter goes over your Mars and Venus, by May, once we step into that eclipse, you're stepping into so much abundance of your philosophy. And I think you're gonna, since these are personal planets too, it's gonna really just change the game on how much more creatively expressive you show your skills and your talents.
Mhm.
And so if we look at the next few months coming into Pisces season, right now in Sagittarius, we had the new and we're going to come into the full moon, but this fifth house cycle as Aquarius sun is making you aware of the creativity you express with your circle of friends and how you're opening your heart unconventionally with Uranus here. And that's going to lead in a Capricorn season, which is going to integrate that creativity and have you release unconscious habits that with the actions taken in Capricorn is integrating a very incredible lifestyle. So it's very
Mhm.
deeply behavioral because Pluto is here, Venus retrograding in your sixth. By the time we finish and go into February, the way you live your lifestyle will be very transformed. The way you kind of polish with Venus, your routine, and sixth house could be work, but it can also be your daily routine and how you kind of form your behavior. So Capricorn 2020 brought a lot of intense difficulty in breaking that through. And
Mhm.
now
I've
this
been a
is
recluse the past 2 years, and usually I'm a social butterfly. I'm ready to be
mm,
back out in the world.
that's deep. And that's powerful too, because by the time we step into Capricorn, we're going to see Jupiter go into Pisces. The North Node's going to go into Taurus coming into January, February. And I feel like once the North Node anchors itself into Taurus, everything that was up in the air for you will very powerfully stabilize.
When will that be?
So technically it's gonna officially go in end of January.
End of
Like
January.
like the last
I've been like January 22nd's been sticking out in my head for some reason.
January
Um,
22nd, we're gonna have Mercury retrograde. The sun will be 2 degrees Aquarius. And the North Node will be in Taurus. So it definitely is relevant.
yeah.
And around that period, the sun will be around your natal Jupiter. So you may come into epiphanies and like, mini breakthroughs and awakenings.
Yeah.
So, concerning that, um, the perspective that's going to be complete in a couple days about
Mhm.
your creativity and how to live your life, you're going to take action on that through the rest of December into January. And
I've been feeling that too, man.
right, it's going to be
I
very
like it's been really hard to sleep lately because I'm so antsy that like something's gonna pop up or I need to be out and about, but I'm also try not to plan too much, you know.
right. And I think you're
When I became a mom, I had to learn to plan, which I'm not used to. So
oh wow,
that's but I've learned a lot through that.
that's interesting. Especially seeing Neptune in Capricorn, so you have a more intuitive routine. You can just kind of go with the flow and still kind of
Yeah,
organize it.
but I have been in my head so much, I've driven myself mad. I never thought depression was even possible for me, and
Right.
I went through that. But and it was for the first time in my life last year. It was hard to see that this is for a reason, and I never thought that would happen. But I've been seeing it, feeling it,
Right.
and when I ask angels, they bam show me a sign immediately. Like it's like bam.
And I appreciate you saying that because you're very collected to the angelic realm as a high queen, as Aquarius sun. Um, you you'll know the guidance they're giving, and I feel like the North Node in Gemini strengthen that connection. It's still around Chiron, so it's like still unlocking your healing ability where you can just speak healing on people, or just doesn't have to be tied to healing, just kind of like discerning the truth and transmuting words too.
Yeah,
That trines
yeah.
Jupiter. So you've unlocked a lot of this. But once the South Node coming into February, March, comes over your Saturn, all of that hidden personal family karma that has blocked you, all the limitations you have now, it's released. It's going to unlock that, and it's going to push you forward considerably towards the establishment of your career. And this is going to
Yeah.
really anchor and ground new opportunities coming in the Aries season that you'll take action on. So Aquarius season is going to really facilitate by the 22nd of January. Now, based on the actions with Venus retrograde taken in Capricorn season, how you're establishing this change of your lifestyle in your relationships. And it's
Yeah.
going to really make everything clear around there. This is going to be more your seventh house chapter, while Jupiter is, by the time we step into March, beginning that eighth house cycle towards manifesting your value as Aquarius rising, starting a new cycle of finances, but also
Mhm.
transforming your world as a Leo rising, transforming your relationships and how you deal with other people. I think it's going to be a very abundant period because this is going to prepare for a lot of success in your career or just really your legacy.
I sure hope so, because it's been a struggle.
And a lot of things outside of your control or for outside of you might been the source of this limiting. So I think the nodes are going to cut that off or just really release it so that it can get out your own way, or you're more in a position to have it work for you instead of against you.
Yeah.
So thankfully enough, everything that starts in March will manifest in your second house September. And what you believe or what dreams come up will be real September. So that's going to really, through Taurus season, manifest that success and then bring it down personally. So this is important because the change or transformation in your perception during March is going to influence the actions you take April.
Hmm.
That ninth house chapter is going to be very key because it'll have you express your attitude towards how much higher you see yourself. And all of
Hmm.
that's going to lead into May, which is going to be, of course, the eclipse and also, of course, Uranus with this new moon. And that's going to anchor very groundedly this manifestation of your legacy and the eclipse lesson for the rest of the next 10 years, really. And so I think around then, that new moon cycle is going to bring in the new seeds that will give you more of an idea coming into Gemini season of what you're manifesting. And I would
I
say
was about
anything.
to,
What was that?
yeah, I feel I was about to ask you what about Gemini season, because that's another pivotal point I'm feeling
And
just intuitively.
after the North Node, it'll be a lot more clear because we won't have that destiny lesson. So I think
Yeah.
everything's just gonna kind of like come into clarity. Everything that you knew was happening will just be confirmed, and it'll clear up a lot too. But the Gemini is
Hmm.
going to manifest the idea of what seeds you're planting in May,
Hmm.
which will be very revealing. It will also square Jupiter and Pisces, so it'll challenge who you can trust and how creative you are with these friends or people who kind
Hmm.
of come in and give you ideas and insight. And that will lead back to Leo season through Cancer, where the actions taken during Capricorn season to set your lifestyle, you're now releasing old habits from your feelings. And now the person who you're showing others in Aquarius season, you're becoming in Leo season.
Hmm.
And that's the next 6 months ahead. But really, I think coming out of March into May is going to establish so much. And Jupiter will come out of uh, Pisces as soon as May. So it's going to be like a very fast 5 months of transformation that will already start to begin to ascend you to the next level.
And I'm a five life path.
Wow. That's
And
very
this was a 5 year, and it was just one after another. Like, I can't. It was a blink of an eye, but so long.
wow. All right. I like that. I like that. That's so true. A long blink. did
Yeah.
you did you have any final questions at all?
Real quick. I saw that you had a video about like what alien origin you might come from.
Oh, the alien constructs.
Yeah.
I appreciate you saying that because you don't have any alien constructs in your chart, but I
Mhm.
consider all Aquarians aliens. So I can send you the
Oh,
link to that article.
yeah, that'd be great.
Beautiful. I'll do that. And
Thank you.
other than that, you stay blessed. Please feel free to keep in touch if there's any questions that come up. Feel free to email me. That's totally fine.
Okay, and was this recorded?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you this recording right after.
Sweet, homie. I appreciate you.
No problem. And you have a blessed weekend or week ahead.
Too, man. Oh, yeah.
All right, peace out.
Peace.